Hi everyone, it's Saturday night. It's late. We're almost at that point where we're going to be announcing our winner of the 2023 Medical Affairs Innovation Olympics. We're only a few days away from the semifinals, and I just can't wait to see our competitors and how they will present their ideas, what they will present. You've been hearing about this event, Medical Affairs Innovation Olympics, for probably for quite a few weeks now from me. I'm the host of this event for the second year in a row. Also CEO of pharma, Tim Mikhelishvili here in New York. And what I want to do here tonight is to very quickly share with you a message, an important message from the opening presentation, 15-minute presentation from this year's opening ceremony. Then I'm going to share with you a 5-minute highlights video from last year, which will give you a sneak peek at what you can expect this year, this Olympic spirit that we created. And then finally, I'll share with you how any of you working in healthcare, life sciences, pharma, and biotech can watch this exciting culmination of this event. All the tremendous effort that our courageous competitors have put into sharing their ideas, and the judges who have volunteered their time is going to be available for all of you in a very unique live stream debate format, which you'll be able to witness, transparent voting, not just ranking of competitors against each other, but providing them with the rationale, with the individual criteria of validity, predictability, causality, novelty, and applicability. These 5 criteria by which they will be judged. And so they'll know the reason for their scoring. They've already gone through 2 rounds of elimination. We've gone from 9 competitors down to 4. And so you're going to be able to witness action, the competition, the action that follows, the challenges, the voting that will be live, and that only the final votes will be counted, meaning that you'll see, just like last year, agility in thinking and in the evaluation, as we've seen shifts in our leaderboard. And so there's a lot of many reasons for all of you, even those who haven't registered, for you to go ahead and go to amadevpharma.com. So I'll share that with you later. And at this point, let's just start with the opening remarks, because I think it's an important message for our healthcare community at large, to explain why we need to revisit and reflect on the ultimate purpose of our innovation in our ecosystem, in our global environment today, and also why we need a renaissance, a new renaissance in healthcare. So here is the opening remarks, opening presentation. This is how we started our Olympics this year. Welcome, everyone, to the Medical Affairs Innovation Olympics opening ceremony. Thank you for joining us from all across the globe. We have visitors from Australia, Europe, United States, across our country. Why innovation happens depends on who makes decisions, when, and whose interest. This year's event, it's important to note, is dedicated to the children, our current and future generations, and also to our prospect feeling younger and healthier. As we revisit our youth and enthusiasm for new things, let's share what we see when we look at children. I see eternity in their eyes, longevity, health, life in its full swing. The longer we live, the more complex life may seem, the more we realize how simple it actually is. The children, all they ask us is for someone with whom to play, partner, regardless of what corner of this earth or what flag they carry in true Olympic spirit. There is also depth in the eyes of children and wisdom in their simplicity, joy, bliss, and something that all of us seek, regardless of whether we are 5 or 85 years old, and that is attention through a shared experience. Although children may not always know how to lose when they compete, which some of us learn as adults, they teach us a thing or two about accountability because they do not forget when we do not fulfill our promises. So the ultimate wisdom is manifested in our healthcare and industry through the simplicity of their expectations. And that is to simply practice what we preach. So it's our duty in healthcare to allow our children to live longer, healthier, and better lives. However, frankly, because of our global environment, our conflict, our war, there's reason to doubt that promise. The shortages of fundamental foods and grains. So we're experiencing a critical dichotomy with advances in healthcare that are unprecedented. We are now developing drugs that are fully discovered by AI and that are in human clinical trials. We are treating cancer earlier in its stage than ever before. Genetic therapy to reverse aging and other diseases. We're also sharing more information across our companies in the industry. Our drug target databases across 10 large pharmaceutical companies without compromising our intellectual property, significantly shortening the time it takes to develop medicines through an initiative called Melody. However, sadly, on the other hand, we are faced with a global conflict that questions the purpose of our innovation, that threatens the advances that we're making. Earlier during this situation that we're all impacted by, there are many different leaders that tried to convince the aggressors how to make peace. There was one that stood out, that was unforgettable in my mind. That was from the president of India, who simply used this argument to make peace. We no longer live in the era of war, which is an important reminder how many decades and years back, actually, that this conflict is taking us and how inconsistent it is with the potential of our innovation. And so we are all in need of a new healthcare renaissance, as there are shortages in healthcare that are unprecedented. Patients are now finding themselves polarized. They're distant from physicians. They don't trust the healthcare industry and the healthcare providers, despite the advances we've made in the COVID vaccines. The shortages in healthcare are likely to reach over 3 million in just a couple of years. About half of our healthcare providers whom we need to innovate, to deliver innovation, openly admit that they are planning to leave their current roles. And inflation, the pandemic restrictions, lack of trust are cited by patients in the latest 2023 Edelman Trust Barometer global research as some of the factors that are making them sick, that are negatively impacting their health. Despite so many methods and sources where they can find medical information, patients are finding taking care of their own health much more difficult than even 1 year ago.
Their trust has decreased not only in providers or industry, but in the media, which is leading to unpredictable healthcare decisions. Data demonstrate that patients, particularly the youngest age groups, tend to contradict decisions or recommendations from their providers. And so our health extends far beyond our physical well being. As you see some of the data from the Edelman Trust Barometer, 66% of the survey respondents across the globe uh, stated that mental health, emotional health, belonging to a community are also part of their sustainability. Reminded me of an anecdote that one physician told me years ago. He had a patient who had only 6 months to live, a terminal diagnosis of cancer. And this patient wanted to live life to its fullest. He went and he sold all his possessions, moved from the country into the city. He ended up seeing the doctor again in 1 year. The physician gave him good news. He said, "Congratulations, you don't have cancer anymore. You're a healthy man." To which the patient responded, "Well, what is the value of my life now that I don't have any money or anything that belongs to me?" And so this reminds us that our health is the product of the sustainability of our life. Can you afford to be a part of a community when your income is so low that life becomes difficult to sustain? This is the question that we have to ask. So, to drive a new renaissance in healthcare, let's learn some lessons from this period. This innovation from 4 to 8 centuries ago has left us with beauty that's unparalleled in many regards. Yet, to innovate, the young 17-year-old Cosimo de' Medici had to go back and revisit older generations, bring back antiquity from antique philosophers and their learnings from Greece and Rome to transform the culture and art and science. So imagine this picture: a 17-year-old financial tycoon who lived together with a philosopher and a priest, Marcello Ficino, and sculptor Michelangelo for 5 years to discuss the impact of this innovation on their culture. So, this amalgamation of different perspectives and motivations deliberately led to artists and scientists that developed new art and work, not for the sake of art or science itself, but to develop a particular community. The period has left us with many notes in terms of the sizes and proportions of the squares and how they were built, such that children that were playing would be able to hear their mother calling them. Medici was influenced by the Roman philosopher Sallust as well, who had described the previous era of decadence as public squalor and private opulence. So, Renaissance ultimately did not only expand the freedom of thought, critical thinking, but also it made truth, beauty, and wisdom now becoming accessible to everyone in the public. So, what can we learn in healthcare from their goals and their ultimate outcomes? Well, we need to strive for not only improving patient outcomes, but how they interact with the entire healthcare system in order to create a particular community to which they belong. And also to close the generational gap in leadership, as the 17-year-old Cosimo de' Medici did. Who are some of our philosophers of our age today? In many regards, I think the Renaissance is already started in healthcare because these philosophers of today are organizational change experts. Our young leaders that are entering the healthcare clinical force, our even investors and shareholders are now driving our companies in pharma and biotech to invest in seemingly non-revenue generating initiatives such as ESG in order to focus on the impact that we are having on our environment. And also to remind us about the long term value of corporate social responsibility, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, in addition to profits and revenue. So, this event is designed to inspire and practice a long term vision that addresses the real world global scenarios in healthcare today. Because a patient should not have to wait years until a treatment or a trial becomes available in their town or country. As they move from job to another job or retire, or from one hospital to the next, they should be able to have access and claim their medical records in real time wherever they go and receive continuous preventive maintenance or acute care. Finally, because of the advances that we're making, patients anywhere in this world should have a reasonable expectation to receive the sufficient high quality care in order to survive, prolong, and improve their lives. So, as we learn from the Renaissance, to innovate, our industry also has to close the generational gap in leadership. Studies show that longer experience as a physician does not correlate with higher quality of care. So we must also learn from our new healthcare providers about how they apply the medical information to guide their clinical decisions. And they, in turn, have to learn from some of our experienced healthcare providers about how to respond to adversity, how to think independently, regardless of the latest change of in the algorithm of social media, for example. And so innovators always contrast those opposing forces who say that innovation is not for us, it's for someone else, or those decision makers, or we have to do more with less, we can't afford innovation, or that our strategy has gotten us this far. Well, what got you here won't necessarily get you there. Innovators are in the business of inspiration. While innovation takes risk and courage and time, these ideas will remain in the back of our mind and in our subconscious unless we provide incentives. And this is why this Innovation Olympics event provides our leaders the incentives and the ability to see where their ideas actually fall in relation to the field, other companies, our organizations, and our industry as well. By competing. And ultimately, you need to allocate time and resources to innovation. That's why Amadev Pharma is making an investment in helping test ideas and propel them forward. During this time of limitations of resources, economic instability, to which we've been previously, but now no longer resistant, are even more critical to us today. So we need to directly link the value of our contributions in medicine to our business, prosperity, and also to our healthcare community. So, as Les Brown says, we fail not because we aim high and we miss, but because we aim too low and hit the target. So, over the next 16 days, we'll take a pause to reflect on the global impact of our innovation, to compete, learn how each one of us can help patients reclaim their health and revive our planet. And perhaps we can look forward to future innovation not only with our own eyes, but through the eyes of children, our predecessors, our artists and scientists who brought us the Renaissance. And so, over this opening ceremony, in the first half, we will hear from James Pear, Chris Cook, and Gary Hall about the exciting innovation that we can expect in healthcare, its potential, and also why it's critical. While in the second half of our ceremony today, we'll examine the technical details that are necessary, the operations that are involved in making innovation a reality from a global healthcare, commercial, and medical perspectives in pharma or biotech. Then we'll focus on our behaviors and how to collaborate in teams, as well as how to use technology to personalize care. Before finally concluding with the stars, the real stars of this competition, who are the competitors, who'll have a chance to introduce themselves, meet our expert judges, executives from our industry, and finally, we'll close with familiarizing ourselves with the platform that we'll use in the Huva app and this learning forum in this Olympic Village.
Hope you enjoyed that message. I look forward to your comments, questions, and you'll hear from many of our competitors and judges afterwards. There will be podcasts and blogs that will be written about this event as well. Stay tuned at Amadev Pharma, where you can actually watch the semifinals and the finals as well. Let me share that here. Go to amadevpharma.com, and I'll conclude this live with that. But now let's look back at last year. at the semifinals and finals, and just the spirit and the experience from that event, and what we can look forward to, and why we're so excited looking at and in anticipation of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when we conclude this event. So here is our 5-minute highlight video from last year. Okay. Before I ask you both to declare the Olympic Games started, Chris and Sharon.
Let's go, Chris. Let the games begin.
Yay.
They've begun now, everyone. So. So we have Vinay, who we have to congratulate. Vinay, congratulations. You're the winner of the top idea of the year overall this year in the first inaugural Medical Affairs Innovation Olympics.
So this is one of exciting news for me today. We're on our way actually to do a gender reveal for our third baby. So
okay.
A lot of things to celebrate today.
Congratulations, Vinay.
Thank you so much.
Chris, so we can't close the Olympics without some magic words. And since you opened them, I want to give you the honor of declaring our games closed. So
thank you so much. So this is not this whole movement for me. If I was to sum this up, this has not been about what you're getting. It's been about who are you becoming. When you're reflecting and you're reviewing this and you're looking over it, just look at how people have left their fingerprint in your life for the better. Because what we've done here will undoubtedly change people's lives. It will undoubtedly change people's lives. So that leaves me with one last thing to say. I declare the games closed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So that brings lots of memories. Okay, just one moment here. Some background noise. Right, turn that YouTube video on. There we go. Okay, good. So that definitely brought a lot of smile to my face and some amazing memories with Chris Cook, our Olympian who declared the games open and closed them. In fact, that was Sharon Hannon also together with him, an Olympic gold medal winning coach in track and field who coached an Irish track and field athlete to a gold medal in 2012 in London. Sally Pearson. In fact, 110-meter hurdles. Many of you who follow sports and track and field in particular probably know her. And so now I'll simply show you how you can join this excitement this year. This year, the games were declared open, as is traditional by an Olympian, at the Medical Affairs Innovation Olympics by Gary Hall Jr., 5-time Olympic gold medal champion, and also the first Olympian to win the gold as a type 1 diabetic patient, which many people didn't know. He's an avid patient advocate, courageous speaker, leader, and he will invite him to close the games, or we'll have some of our other expert judges as well. We'll see. Maybe we'll have some surprises on October 4th. Here are the key dates to remember: October 2nd at 10 a.m., October 3rd at 4 p.m., October 4th at 5 p.m. You can join again for free, even if you did not register to compete, if you're not a part of it, and you can join the excitement and the innovation. I'll show you how you can go to our website. You can actually follow along on the website as well, on Amadev Pharma. Okay, here we go. Just want to make sure that you see this. You go to the website, Amadev Pharma, you click on Innovations Olympics event, and then you just scroll down. You scroll down and you register your email address, first and last name, and you watch it for free on the Amadev Pharma website, or on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube as well. This is semifinal number 2 and final as well. Very simple, very easy. And the news and events, we'll keep you updated. You can also do the same thing here. You can follow along, on the news and events page, which I do my best to update the website as often as possible. With that, more to come. We have semifinalist interviews that I just posted on LinkedIn from 2 of our competitors who talked about their strategy, what brought them that far, some success factors in their advancement to the semifinals, what they expect, and what their analysis is, their commentary on the voting as well. So it's a sports style interviews of healthcare Olympians. We'll have more that I'll be posting, and to get a more inside look into the competitors and their experience and their particular approaches as they go through this, as they progress throughout the event. So a lot of excitement. I can't wait for Monday. Have a great Sunday ahead and rest of your weekend, my friends.